The dizzy glow of ignorant happiness falls away from me all at once. I push the door open quietly, adrenaline spiking in my veins. Of course it's over. Was I just getting complacent? I inch to my apartment as the music warbles on. Aside from the moonlight streaming through the curtains, everything is dark. I reach out to switch on the light, but nothing happens. Music swells to a crescendo. My hands grow clammy. I tighten them against my jacket. Something pricks at the back of my neck. I whip around, squinting at the shadows. Nothing but stillness. I shove to the kitchen, keeping my steps light as I extract a knife from the counter. My heart pulses in my throat. Someone in my apartment. Could he possibly? No, he's under custody. He has to be. Shigura would tell me if he escaped. I inch closer, tightening my shaking grip on the handle of the knife. Okay, that's Shigura. And then, oh no, that's the information guard. And then, something itches into the light, wedged with silver. Good evening, Yama Ishimoto. Natsuki Tanaka leans against the window, arms crossed over her chest, as she surveys me with a patronizing smile. Natsuki? Why is Natsuki here? How did she get here? What is she doing? Did you miss me? My grip goes slack, the knife clatters to the floor. What are you doing here? Huh, I wonder. You can't just waltz into my apartment. I already have. Get out or I'm calling the police. Oh, do you believe they would listen? I fall silent and dead, my head spinning too fast to track. Closing down to school. With all the information on the crime, setting up Ryota as a scarecrow immigrant. That was you. Oh dear, I could hardly take credit for such master's work of art. No, I'm just an ordinary teenager girl. Beset with high school drama and college entrance exams. A sudden thrill of rage races through my veins. I lunge forward, slamming my head on the glass. Look, Tanaka, I'm not in the mood for games. Oh, that's interesting. I could have sworn you were just playing fun. What? Oh, are you feigning ignorance now? I speak of the RPO, of course. How could you know? I believe we've been over this part before, Yamashimoto. It is hardly of any importance by this point. She suddenly twists her fingers into my collar, her face dropping to a harsh straight line. What really matters is your sheer ignorance. You should have heeded my words while you had the chance. Your words? That you should have stayed out of this. All of this. She releases me, shoving me back with surprising strength. I barely catch myself against the wall. I call the serial killer, isn't that what? Natsuki barks in harsh laughter. Oh, that little pawn. I wouldn't go patting myself on the back for him if I were. I practically spoon-feed him into her hands. She claps hollowly, every facet of her face alight in sardonic smile. Congratulations, Yamashimoto, you think she's the end? You aren't even close. She slides to the door with cat-like grace, tapping something on her hip. The deadly foot cuts off abruptly. Oh, and you might want to change your key code. There is silence, nothing but cold, deathly silence. I sink to my sofa, waiting in the darkness of my apartment. Only one phrase streams through my mind. Ryota in jail, Rui alive, so what? The press is silent, the school is closed, and according to Shigura, something's wrong with the police too. I thought I understood everything, but Tatsuki is always one step ahead. I thought I was the orchestrator, but it looks like I'm just a pawn. Still too ignorant, still too weak. I don't know what's going on. But maybe this is when that all changes, because now I'm capable of fighting back. For Mizu, who I should have protected. For the smiles of my friends. For peace and happiness, I guess. How cliché. Maybe it's time to stop staying back, thinking that everything will go wrong. Maybe it's time to move forward. There's something behind all of these murders, and I have to figure out what that something is. And I can do it alone, but I guess I'm realizing that I won't need to. I dream of something strange. At the time, it was perfectly clear, something so vibrant that it was almost tangible. There was smoke, something heavy in the air, a kind of blackness filling my lungs. While I was dreaming, I understood everything. But waking up, it felt vague, a silhouette immersed in fog. I feel like I've missed something important. Normally, I might check if Natsuki stole anything from apartments, but to be honest though, she doesn't seem like the thieving type. If anything, she's probably just the kind of person who relishes in the abject terror of humanity. Instead, I guess I'll wash up and get dressed and do whatever else is routine, waiting for the moment of truth, until I meet Rui today. It's not strange, now that the day is bright and the sun's shining and the weather is a typically beautiful summer day, I find that my head is painfully clear. Cryptic warnings? Whatever, they are only ominous in the dead of night when accompanied by dance macabre. As for meeting Rui today, I can deny it any longer. She's going to confess to me. She's going to say that she likes me, as in, has romantic feelings for me. Just so I don't misunderstand, dummy, okay? So listen up or she will punch me. And by the way, this doesn't mean we have to date or anything. She just thought she would let me know. She should let me know. And she's like me for forever. But because I'm just such a dummy, I never realized it. But anyway, where was she going with this? She had the point. Alright, she asked me. Oh yeah, that's all she had to do. Then she finally stopped breathlessly and I'm supposed to act floored because she was so very subtle about hiding her feelings. Maybe it sounds arrogant, but it's true. I can't deny that for some unknown reason, Rihata has feelings for Yama Ishimoto. The problem has always been, what do I do in response? You'd think that after facing a serial killer together, anything else would pale in comparison. And well, I guess it did. Yesterday. No, for the past 3 months even. But maybe I'm having doubts now that the event is actually imminent, because for the first time, it's not just something I can push off for later. I'm going to have to face it. Today. The thing is, I know what Misaki would say or what Akira would say. She likes you, and you need her. What's the problem? That's the problem. That's exactly the problem. Rui doesn't deserve anything half-hearted. She doesn't deserve a guy who doesn't even know how he feels, or a guy who's using her for his own purpose. She deserves someone who's totally, madly in love with her, who will pursue her to the ends of the earth, who will fight for her like she's... Why do I suddenly think of Masato? Then Misaki or Akira will respond, well, I'm sure that does matter to her, she likes you for you. And I respond, it does matter. It will always matter. It will matter because in a few months Rui will be disappointed, claiming that she's in a one-sided love, and she will want more from me than I'm able to give. Okay, man! Do I need to remind you that my choice was to not pick her for the beating, but the siblings, who I'm still curious if are fine. God damn it, I need some info about them. It will matter because if something happens between us, I'll have no one left. Then Misaki or Akira will respond, love is choice, love is an action, it's not a wishy-washy thing, you can choose to love her. Then they will continue, so, go and confess, say it's the day. And at that convenient moment, Rui will call me, and the shoujo manga will be complete. And speak of the devil, don't tell me this is about to happen. Hey, I know we're supposed to meet up today, but I was thinking that... Yama? My voice dies in my throat and I flop on the couch, staring at the ceiling. Hi, Dad? An awkward pause. I can't expect this call to come today. In fact, I can't expect this call to come, well, ever. What exactly has been going on? I don't hear disapproval in his voice. I don't hear anger. I don't even hear worry. He sounds distant, just like how I feel distant. Nothing much? It sounds feeble coming out of my mouth. Of course, stuff has been happening. They've been paying the hospital bills. They've been receiving notifies from the school. Who knows, maybe Shigure talked to them. I want to hear it from your own mouth. Yama, what's this about Striker and Rui and... They weren't supposed to call. They were supposed to be ignorant, able to keep their son at a distance, abiding by whatever arrangement was most comfortable for them. Yeah, there's been a disappearance at school. It was actually because a faculty member at the school was kidnapping students and murdering them. Yeah, we heard. I can't believe it. He almost killed Rui. That silence follows his statement. This statement. I wait, my palms sweating against my pajamas. So, the hospital visit? Yeah, another silence. So much for not bothering my parents. Yama, you almost died, didn't you? You better tell me that there was no other option, son, and that you called the police. There wasn't, and yeah, I did. There's another silence. It's almost as if we're co-workers rather than family members. To be honest, I can't really say why. It's not like my parents hate me. In fact, I know that they care for me. Things used to be different. We were a close family, in a way. Mom and dad were always smiling, always laughing, always excited about the restaurant. But after Mizu... Son. Huh? Did you hear your mother? I paused dead silence. We're coming to pick you up, now. Wait, what? Leave now. No, there's too much unfinished. There's too much that I'm leaving behind. There's just too much. Honey, we thought you'd be safe and happy in Isamu, Rui, but... I am. Oh yeah, I could tell that from the hospital notice and from the circular that was apparently after you and Rui's next. Dear, please calm down. You're coming back, Yama Ishimoto. I'm not. And suddenly his voice cracks. Losing all my other kid. Just like that, the distance between us shatters into pieces. I fell backwards, my mind flailing for explanations. Expectations killed nostalgia. We've been distant for years. We've barely spoken. Most times, I don't even come home for the holidays. Because after Miss died, all they did was push me away. Right. Or was I the one who pushed them away first? I don't remember more. All I know is... I don't want to go back. Not yet. I still need to stay in the city. I still have so much to discover. About Ryota, about the news, and about everything. But it's probably selfish. No, it's definitely selfish. All this time, I thought that my parents sent me to school with Rui to kick me out. But it looks like they've just been trying to take care of me. Should I repay that favor? We're getting the car. Pack your stuff, Yama. We'll be there in 3 hours, honey. On the dot. 3 hours. 3 hours to say goodbye to all the friends I've made, tie up all the loose ends I've left hanging. Including my visit to Rui, if I'm gonna visit her at all. What will I even do when I return to my hometown? Sleep? Watch movies? Waste the day? Just like I used to. No, I might not be in Isamu anymore, but that doesn't mean that I can do anything productive from home. Okay, have a safe trip. Bye bye, honey. You'll be safe too. God damn it. And with that, the call shuts off. I probably should feel relieved or happy or grateful for knowing that my parents haven't been ignoring me this whole time, but I only feel blank. Maybe the distance is too much, maybe it's all too late. I carelessly begin to throw some of my belongings into luggage, but stop short, checking the time. 3 hours. I have just enough time to visit one friend, then pop over to Rui's house before my parents arrive. Who? Just one person? It seems so sudden. Well then again, I guess I shouldn't be making this a big deal. I'm not exactly moving to a different planet. Still, if I can only see one person, who should I see? What? How did I get the Harem King achievement? How is it even possible, damn it? How? Is it because I said yes to all the visits? That doesn't make any sense. Damn it! No! I want Rui ending. God damn it! Come on! Ari, Akira, Elizabeth, or Misaki. But why? I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I need to look this up really quickly because it's freaking surprising. Have the option to choose to visit all available close to all the girls. It's pretty easy to achieve. Either with the options like text Elizabeth, do homework Misaki, go to step in pro. Oh. Okay, so yeah, basically if you go with the flow of choosing the options I choose, you will get this ending. God damn it. That's not what yeah. Okay, it's not terrible, but still, I wanted to ignore. Alright. Ari? Nah, I guess not. She's more like a little sister, to be honest. Akira? She's damn cheerful, but... Elizabeth or Misaki? Now that's a hard choice, okay? And I didn't have any choices for a long time already. Let's go with... Okay, let's go with... I think we should go with Misaki because, you know, she kind of went away without telling us, and we had problems about that a bit, but we forgave her quickly. Rui had more problems about that, but still. But you know, living without telling about that would suck right now. So basically, repeating what she did, and well, okay, let's go with this. Consider the circumstances, this is probably the best person I can talk to right now. Probably. Hey Yama, what's up? This is kind of sudden, but are you busy with work right now? No, why do you ask? Do you think we can meet up? A silence pervades our line. She didn't hang up, did she? Are we going on an adventure? What? So, no? No, I just want to talk about something. Oh, I see. So, where do you want to meet? How about the courtyard? Oh wait, the school's closed. Is there anywhere else we could have a decent discussion? Ah, of course. Have you been to the river bar school? The river? Are you sure? Yeah, sure. Alright, I'll see you there in a bit. She cuts the call. Well, time to head to the river. I leave my luggage in my apartment and head outside, slipping Rui's pen into my pocket. The day is beautiful and bright, sending waves of sparkles skittering across the surface of the Rainbow River. If I hadn't almost drowned in it twice, I must actually appreciate its beauty. As it is, I can barely bring myself to approach a bench that's a good distance from the river's edge. I find Misaki already waiting for me. Her elbows are propped on the railing, a faraway gleam in her eyes as she overlooks the cityscape. That's odd. Normally she would be absorbed in her phone or snapping photos of everything around her. I tap her on the shoulder to get her attention. Afternoon, stranger. Oh, you're here. It's about time you showed up. Well, sorry for not having superhuman speed. You could always jump into the radioactive place like all the other superheroes. Thus, the Rainbow River counts as pretty as it is. It's plenty polluted. So, you think you already have a superpower? If I said I could destroy enemies one punch, would you believe me? Not in the slightest. You would need to be bald for that. Yeah. How that relates to having a superpower is beyond me. So, what do you want to talk about? It must be important if you couldn't tell me over the phone. I fixed my eyes on the churning river, taking a moment to decide how to break the news. I'm moving away. Going away? You mean back to Seto? Yeah, my parents were very happy that when they heard about the incident. So they told me to move back with them. They don't think Isamu is safe anymore. Misaki's fingers curl around the railing, her gaze still transfixed somewhere off in the distance. I see, and after we've just reunited. I just thought that maybe we could spend some time together, just like when we were younger, but I might have been getting ahead of myself. Despite her composure, there's a catch in her voice. I'm sorry, Yama, I shouldn't be this upset. I awkwardly reach forward, then step back, and settle for an awkward pat on her shoulder. I get it, I don't want to leave either. Well, I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? 4 years ago, I was the one to leave, now it's you. If anyone should be upset for all this time, it should be you, not me. And yet, she lifts her eyes to the sky and tilts her head back, breathing deeply. After a moment, she seems to regain her composure. Have you told anyone else that you're leaving? I haven't had a chance. My parents are picking me up in a few hours. That soon? Yeah, unfortunately. She bites her lips, seemingly lost in thought. Yama, there's something I need to tell you, before you go. What is it? She turns to face me, reaching out to hold my hands. I almost shrink back instinctively, but that would be kind of rude. Misaki was always very handsy. Thank you for never leaving me. But I'm leaving. That's not what I meant. She sighs heavily. I know that I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I used to drag you everywhere with me. You always ended up getting hurt, or in trouble, or even both. And yet, you never hated me for it. She smiles wistfully, her grip tightening around my fingers. Thank you for always being there for me, Yama. That's why I love you. This sudden nonchalant declaration leaves me speechless. Misaki loves me. Since when did that happen? What's the matter? What? What about Rui? Oh, I love Rui too, of course. Wait, what? Is it so wrong of me to say that I love you guys? You mean you aren't? I wasn't what? She looks genuinely confused until a realization dawns on her. Oh, you thought I was confessing? I love you, but not in that way. Oh, damn it! I untangle myself from her grip in embarrassment. Then you probably shouldn't be using the word love so casually, Miki. Crap, now I'm starting to sound like Elizabeth. Ignoring my anguish, Misaki slaps me on the back, a smug grin plastered on her face. You thought I was confessing, and the first person to think about is Rui. I thought you said you didn't have feelings for her. Well, I stumble over my words like an idiot. Why did I think of Rui? Sure, I know she likes me. Is that why my intrinsic response is to reject anyone else? Honestly, I don't know. You are going to see her before you leave, aren't you? Yeah, she's the one who told me to visit her actually. I'm pretty sure she's going to confess me. Don't tell me you're getting cold feet. Well... Mika sends steps forward, gripping me by the collar. What are you? You have to see her, Yama. You can't just ignore the situation anymore. I know that you're scared. I know that you don't want to lose her. But just imagine how Rui must be feeling right now. She's probably just as afraid as you are. And if things don't work out, do you honestly believe you will ever grow apart? After everything you've gone through together? I've known you both for a long time now, and there's no denying that you care for each other, even if it is in the romantic sense. So go talk to her. Go talk to her, Yama. She needs you right now. Seemingly done with the scolding, Misaki releases me. She's right. She's completely right. I never really considered how hard it must have been to Rui to decide to confess to me. The least I could do is take her words to heart. Okay. Good. Now that we have that settled, I have a favor to ask you. And what that might be? Promise me that you'll use pattern more often. That's a very tame request coming from Misaki. Alright, I promise. Cross your heart and die. Isn't it cross your heart or hope to die? Probably, I was never good with idioms. I chuckled at. Alright, but I still wouldn't know what to thought about. Like I told you before, it could be anything. So I could post that picture I took of you picking the school lock. You did it! Oh, what's wrong? Afraid it would tarnish your online image as the cool Polish trendsetter? I thought that we partners in crime, Yama, not backstabbers. Help those who help themselves, right? Or I might have a better idea. Which is? You make yourself popular on Pattern and we establish influential connections. Then with our combined leverage, we take over the world! My own, my love, my precious. Precisely. This girl scares me sometimes. And yet, why do I feel honored? In some twisted way, I guess it's because she regards me as an equal. Come to think of it, that was the case even when we were younger. To Misaki, I was never this troubled or weird kid. I was just a friend. Someone who she wanted to have adventures with, someone who she wanted to experience life with. I guess that I'd always appreciated that. Even if war dominated is a bit of an extreme case. Say Miki. Yeah, I gotta go soon, so could you tell the others why I had to move away? Sure thing. She could have asked why I didn't want to tell myself. She could have asked why I couldn't just text them on my own. She simply accepted. She simply trusted me. Thanks. I turned away, but her hand touched my arm. Yama, see you later. I swallowed, my throat suddenly feeling heavy. You too, Miki. And with that I walk away, heading to the train station. Every step feels real. I'm walking through light, or water, or some half-formed dream. A distant part of my mind is whispering, moving. It can be real, this can be real. Earlier this year, the thought of leaving Isamu would be unimaginable. I had nowhere else to go. Even now, I don't really have anywhere to go. Well, either way, I need to meet with Rui, before my parents arrive. Give me a sec. I need to check something. It doesn't work. Oh, fuck. Okay, never mind. I board the subway to Rui's house, gripping the pen in my pocket as the tunnel lights glare past the windows. Just go there, just talk with her, just hear her out. I'd like nothing more than the world, but this is a time to man up and face the problem head on. Everything will be fine. Probably. My arrival in District 2 is quiet and unhurried, but the station and the roads are practically empty. Despite its close distance to the heart of the city, this district takes on some definite suburban qualities. Plants are definitely more plentiful here than in any other district, save for the boundary by the Isamu forest. As I jump into the nearest cab, I catch a glimpse of the towering cluster of research buildings that line the roads. They are the closest thing to skyscrapers in the district. Most of them probably bear the insignia of Way Forward Pharmaceuticals, but I guess the district 2 is known as the medical district for a reason. Hospitals, retirement homes, top-tier specialized treatment centers, containers. Don't know where they come from. District 2 will have it all. I've experienced myself far more than I would like. I dismiss my thoughts as the taxi rolls its way to the quieter side of the district and pulls to a stop at the entrance of a suburban neighborhood. A quick payment later, I'm striding to a familiar picket fence house on the corner of the street, serving the signs hung chilly on the door. Home is where the heart is, and the heart is where the Hayatas are. Cute. I always thought of that phrase as stupidly cheesy when I was a kid, but once you grow up a little, I guess you start appreciating stupidly cheesy things. I stand before the house for a moment, breathing quietly through my nose. This is it. The point of no return. Isn't that what they call it? The moment where it's no longer possible to have 1 foot in water and 1 foot on land, where the fence is too high to straddle and too thin to balance on. Yes or no, black or white, A or B. It's time for me to make a decision, whatever the decision means. I raise one hand to the door. Pause. One hand. How many lives have been ended with one hand? Roman gladiators looking to audiences searching for the telltale direction of their thumbs. Execution orders from monarchs all over the world, given with a snap of the fingers or the raising of an arm. Anyone with a semi-automatic in their hand, able to end a destiny with a twitch of their index finger. This isn't good. My mind wandering around again. I tell myself that this situation isn't even that bad, but really I just need to focus. Now's not the time to lose my head. I raise my head again and knock firmly on the door. But it gets way beneath my knuckles, creaking open in the silence. Maybe she left it open for me. But then the smell hits. The moment it does, everything is just unbearable. The first thing that hits my nostril is a gassy, greasy smell of something burning, like stir-fry left too long in a steel pan. I instinctively cover my nose with my sleeve. The stench presses past my fabric, filtering through every thread like a worn sieve. The house is dark, beyond dimly lit. Not a single light flickers within sight. Even on the electronics, every curtain is fastened shut, leaving only stray pinpricks of light peeking through the windows. A strange curl of fear fastens my stomach. I push the door wide open, my voice cracking. Uncle, Auntie, Roy! A flood of sunlight washes around my figure, bathing the living room in an ivory glow. What it reveals is cruel, unforgiving, as bleak as it is bright. Why do I have a bad feeling? Shards. Is the first thing my eyes land on. Fragmented, torn-edged shards of metal, wood, glass, all strewn over the floor and the furniture. Cushions with red seams are scattered on the ground, accompanying their toppled armchairs and sofas. The family pictures, usually in pristine condition on the walls, are hanging askew, frames cracked and pictures sagging through a broken glass. Transfixed in a shock, I step forward, my eyes roving around to take in the scene. I pass by the narrow doorway that leads to the kitchen. Rui and I used to play duck here back in the day. That and we'd try to climb up to the doorframe by pushing against opposite sides with our hands and feet. Now all I can see is a pan settled on the stove, hot oil dancing over blackened food. The stove still alight. Doesn't take a genius to realize that it's the source of stench. A fire hazard in any other circumstance. And yet it doesn't feel like fire is the worst to come. I almost chuckle. Maybe they were preparing for my arrival. Hospitality was always very strong suit. But despite that, abandoned cooking, lit stove, burning food. These signs all point in the same direction as the destruction before me. What was that? Something that winds in a lazy path into the dining room. Glass crunches beneath my shoes as I stop by the adjoining corridor, lifting my eyes slowly to the dining table. Dread. I had often felt it in my life, that black, sleek sensation in the pit of my stomach that sloshed with every step I took, that rose a spiral to my throat, that crushed my lungs until I suffocated on my breath. But I had never felt like this. I start against the wall, my heart stopping cold in my chest. Rui's father is slouched against the table, head pressed almost comically into a bowl of soup, his hands hanging idly at his side. Blood is coated over the back of his skull, crusting over his neatly kept hair and swimming in the soup that covers his face. His skin is pale, lifeless, his joints solidified from rigor mortis. Dead. How could this happen? My vision spins angrily before my eyes. I feel the automatic response of my conscience slipping away. No. I wrest reality back into my grasp, jerking away from the terrible scene. I have to call the police. Get help. Do something. I stumble out of the dining room, jamming at my phone with trembling fingers when my foot catches against something stiff and creaky and something very human. Rui's mother, blank-eyed, cuts from the shattered fragments on the floor covering her body, jaw locked in a shock and unseen assailant. A bullet hole is planted squarely in her chest, soaking her clothes and the carpet around her with blood. Clenched in her frozen hands is a pitiful capsule of pepper spray, a laughable self-defense when surrounded by such devastation. I shakily pull myself to my feet, my breath coming fast and heavy. Too late. Dead. All my fault. Rui! Where's Rui? I stagger upward, vision still twisting as I pull myself along the wall and in the kitchen. She might still be alive. She might be okay. My own mind ridicules the senseless hope, and yet I feel strength bursting to my lips, clearing my mind for one vital minute. Let's invent a little story. Let's say that once upon a time, a terrible murder occurred at an unsuspecting folks' suburban home. Two adults, accomplished adults, beautiful and gentle adults, were brutally shot to death. Let's say that their home was ravaged, that shards of wood, glass, metal, and ceramics littered the ground so heavily that it was impossible to take a single clear step. But let's say that their sacrifices were not in vain, that despite this blindsiding crime, their personal daughter, was able to escape. This daughter found refuge. She waited for her friends. She was terrified, she was upset, but she was alive. Let's invent this little story, and let's pretend that it's true. Let's sleep in peace, wrapped with hope, ready to fight for a brighter tomorrow. But stories, no matter how beautiful, are always so very wrong. Because in the kitchen, there is an island counter. At the edge of the island counter, there is a sickening lump of blood that lazily oozes down the cabinet. And below this island counter lies something very, very mocking. The hope that had dared to rise in my chest crashes down my lungs, driving cold breath from my body. Well, fuck me. Didn't see that coming. My arse pal. Oh, damn it. My eyes are peeled upon unblinking as if steering will somehow get rid of the sickening display. This is true. I so wish it wasn't. I crumple against the floor, splattering blood over my knees. The taste something metallic on the corner of my tongue, whisker of memories, barely 3 months old, surged to my eyelids. No, this was over. Everything was over. Isn't true. Pipes screaming wood on metal and a knife sinking deep into flesh. Oh no, 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 no! I seized the nearest object and renegade shard from a nearby shutter ball and gushed it violently against my skin. It should skitter across the surface, or glad like ice, or feel distant, quiet, 7 words away. But my arm shrieks in protest as the edge digs in the flesh, drawing slow, weeping blood. I can only stare as it drops. Not a nightmare, not a dream, nothing but reality. But I close up my jaw until I retch against my mouth. God damn it! I barely managed to turn away in time. Digested saliva drips from my lips and seeps into cracks of tile floor. A vision, a hallucination, some other explanation. Not this, never this. My sweat is ice cold against my skin. I'm shivering with such intensity that my bones rattle in my eardrums. Pipes, knives, vomit, bloods. Smoke, flooding, exhaust. No. This was supposed to be over. This was supposed to be behind us. She was safe, made it home, wasn't at school, was safe. I forced my eyes to drift down, engraving every corner, every color, every spike of light into the deep recess of my mind. Eyes glazed, mouth slightly agape, a remnant of surprise. She's dressed nicely, so nicely. I don't even remember the last time I saw her out of uniform. She's even wearing jewelry. I choke over my own voice. Right, she thought of dressing nice today. She thought of meeting up with me. We were going to have a little dramatic scene, something to do with like, I like you, and me too, maybe. We were going to eat together with her family. Maybe being embarrassed, maybe being understanding. Who knows what decision we would have come to. But that is a different world. I reached to her cheek, touching her jaw with the edges of my fingertips. There should be warmth, pulsating life. I almost expect to feel her breath against my palm. Cold, still, unnatural, a mannequin manufactured by fate. A small sigh expels from my lips, washing against her bangs. Wake up. Her eyes are open, unblinking, a staring contest on the other side of life. She's not here. I retract my throbbing arm back to my side, slumping unceremoniously against the kitchen island. Should I scream for help? Shouldn't I wail in anger? Well, to be honest, let's face it. After such thing, you are going through trauma, or you will search for revenge. That's what, well, basically comes to my mind at the moment. But I only feel a numbness settling over my skin. Something deep, calm like a lake frosting over in the face of fresh snow. Of course it would be Rui, just like it was Mizu. There doesn't need to be any logic. There doesn't need to be any sense. All there has to be is cold, unforgiving injustice. Misery, pain, suffering. Death can strike wherever it pleases, so long as it receives its ample reward. I throw back my head, I laugh. It reverberates in the empty splintered ceiling. Beautiful, I muse, it's a cold kind of beauty, but it's beautiful. Just like death. My eyes drift onto Rui's face. I only stand there, an irreplaceable calm stealing all over thoughts. I can almost see it from here, her fragile, pale body, laid gently against the ground like a princess in slumber. Maybe she'd be smiling, a peaceful smile. I'd like that. She would be lovely, quiet, vulnerable, weak. She'd be standing here, frozen in shock, the images swimming before her in a macabre production. Weak. She'd be trying to call the police, but her fingers would slide across the bloody surface of her phone to no avail. Weak. I wish that we could trade places. I wish that I would be the one lying on that floor, and she would be the one slumping against the wall with her useless phone clasped in her trembling fingertips. I wish that I would be the one with my jaw solidified in horror, and she would be one with a peaceful, emotionless smile. I wish that I would be gone, drifting away in soulless wind, and she would be here, her spirit tortured and rent apart, but alive. I've wished many things, most of them too ridiculous to name. This too must be ridiculous. My vision blurs. Perhaps I care, perhaps I don't. Something clatters to the ground, step gently in Rui's pool of blood. Time wears drearily on. I see nothing, I hear nothing. There is nothing in my mind but a pale reflection, a glimmer of scarlet ribbon fixed behind my eyelids. The clock ticks, I talk. Of all people, Rui Hayata. We just escaped a serial killer. We'd just been stretched to our wits' ends. We'd just been in intensive therapy for 3 months. That was certainly a hefty debt for life to repay. An innocent, gentle-hearted girl thrust into something that snatched away her ability to talk. She deserved the world. She should have grown up, married a guy who was madly in love with her and had 1.6 children, lived in a house with a white picket fence. But 126, okay, but what is this? This is beyond simple injustice. This is just cruelty. Life is cruel. Death is cruel, and Rui has to pay the price for their damned little games. Treating her like a pawn on a chessboard, an insignificant sacrifice for a meaningless play. I can't stand it. She never deserved this, any of it. I lashed out blindly, the heel of my foot splinters against something wooden, stabbing deep into my leg. The pain feels distant, like my limbs are detached from my head. Might as well be. After fighting so hard to keep it all together, slamming ourselves repeatedly into a wall until it shattered with our broken bodies, Rui is still dead. Then, the pain, a hammering hollow circle of agony in my arm and my foot, drives to a sudden frenzy. No, I know it's a bad idea, but what if that was made by the siblings? Probably not possible, but it's been 3 months, maybe 4, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be able to recover that fast. However, they might have some connections somehow. I mean, if they were taken by Ryota, they might have some connection with Yahiko again. Ah, god damn it. I'm assaulted with the sensations, bright and fierce and angry, corkscrewing directly into the marrow of my bones. No, Rui, no more Rui, and no more bright smiles and flushed cheeks and teasing wigs and exasperated loving little sighs. My calf clenches in sudden agony. I bite the inside of my cheek to keep from screaming. No more fretting like a mother hen and totally extra lunchboxes and tiny little signs of jealousy. The throbbing dinner arm rises to my shoulder, past my neck, right into my skull. I cradle my head in my arms, desperate. No more casual trips to GFC, and random moments of make-believe and strolls around downtown. Because life as you know it, is gone. Tears squeeze from below my eyelids, mixing with the flecks of blood and bile smeared over my face. Stop, just make it stop! Not Rui, not Mizu! There is pain, so much pain, too much, I can't handle it. I can't handle this and everything hurts, I just can't. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jill fell down and Jill fell. Fell and broke her. And Jack came tumbling after. Then Jill's corpse comes to life. It jerks upright, limbs tied to loose ends of puppet strings, smiles at me through the sheen of red. Oh, Jack, you're late. Iron shoves up my nostrils and strangles down my throat. I choke, working to speak. Sorry. She pitches forward, pushed by something invisible. Her slender fingers wrap around my neck and dig into my throat. I catch a whiff of her breath. Putrid, rancid, The smell of raw, old eggs over decaying meat. The smell makes me gag over my own tongue. You shouldn't have been late. Her fingers disintegrate into bones, skin cells blown to ashes on the wind. They clatter into an orderly pile, forming a makeshift xylophone. Tiny little notes begin to ring from their skeleton surfaces. It's supposed to be a melody. I can feel the vibrations in the air. I know that the song is supposed to be beautiful, but my ears hear only dissonance, cacophony, a dirge for a murder of crows. And pungent, burning smoke shoots from the stove like an arrow, slapping me in the face. Hospitality? It should have been hospitality. Don't do it. Come back, Rui, come back! My surroundings melt away. I squint against the screeching, agonizing quiet that stabs at my eyes. The light only intensifies. No rest. Never rest. You are trapped, you fool. There is no place for you! I reach out. The brightness pricks my hands. I slither backward. Stop it! Stop it! The light advances and digs through my fingernails, bleeds past my eyelids, settles in the space at the back of my neck. I pound myself against In's walls. I rattle, chimps on a wooden bridge. No place, no peace, no pace! Stop it! Everything ends. Elsewhere, something must be beginning, but what is that to an ending? Sorry, I'm so sorry. But this, I can't do anything about this. This is out of my control. Out? Or is it? To be continued. Well, to be honest, I have that feeling of emptiness because of how it ended. And, well, I guess you get what I mean, right? That definitely wasn't a good ending, and it pisses me off right now, because, well, obviously, you know why. God damn it! You know, alright, I'm reading right now a bit about the roads, and I think I understand why it ended the way it ended. What's going on? Oh, I thought there would be something about story again. My god. Okay. Alright, I have the Inciting Incident achievement. This achievement comes when you get the good ending. First you have to romance at least one girl again. Really does not count. What? At least one girl, so basically the harem thing also would work, right? Okay. Alright, was this a good ending? Because... Wait a second, give me a second. Let's have a look at this. I didn't actually notice that Steam has guides. I don't know, I should actually look at this first thing I actually start the game. For it be a bit of a cheating as well. That's how I got the... which one? Yeah, I got the achievement when... where actually I didn't get the achievement during Let's Play. When we had to talk... When we had that... that talk with Shigure and... choosing the fighting stances, something about clothes and so on. So that I had to take actually a look at this to actually get it later on. But you don't see it, but well, whatever. Alright, there are bad endings, and it doesn't really say anything with the option I choose, so I guess this is what we get. Alright, that was Lucid9. I guess we are done with it, and it's, well, as you've seen, to be continued. So basically that's right. Complete the common road, best girl, cover measure. Oh, no, stop. Next, Casanova, Fruitless, Amateur Detective. Amateur Detective? What's that thing? Amateur Detective. Okay, I didn't get it as well. And Cruel Reality. So yeah. But you know what? If it says that, alright, never mind. That was Lucid9 Inciting Incident. Oh, I don't have one CG gallery, so I need to get other endings as well. But god damn it, the ending we got so broke me, to be honest. I really feel out of words for this, but it is a great game. I must say, it is a great visual novel, and I believe it's worth playing. But I believe that it's not something that you go to get multiple endings. Probably. Well, I will play it by myself later on to get the achievements, all the achievements. But it won't be on channel. This is where we finish it. Unless there will be really a significant difference, and if there will be something, then I will put it after this one. Yeah, that's how it's done. So follow Snow Studios, great job. Sekai Project also had some effort in it, I think. So yeah, not surprised, it's a great game. Surprised it's a free game. That's what's surprising. But this is freaking amazing. Alright, Lucid9, hope you enjoyed this whole series. Pretty long one. Well, maybe not very long, but well, not bad. And well, basically see you in the next game. Bye bye.